The most dangerous relationship belief isn't that you're unlovable. It's that love has to be earned. Because once you believe that love is earned, you'll spend your entire life performing for connection without ever realizing that you're doing it. You'll become helpful, you'll become accommodating, emotionally available, self sacrificing. You'll learn how to become exactly what other people need, and everyone will call it love. But underneath all of it, you will be terrified that if you stop performing, the love's going to disappear. That is not love. That is a contract, a transaction. And many people don't discover the difference between this until they are exhausted. Is love earned or is love received? Most people never stop and ask this question. Because if you were raised in an environment where love felt tied to your behavior, your performance, your compliance, your usefulness, your success, your emotional caretaking of other people, or simply your ability to help keep everyone else happy, you learned that love isn't received, it is earned. You learned how to earn it fast. Those are two very different experiences that people can have, and the problem with earned love is that it comes with a price tag. Maybe the price was being agreeable. Maybe it was staying quiet, hiding your needs, overriding your limits and your boundaries. Maybe it was taking responsibility for everyone else. Maybe it was being the helper, the fixer, the peacemaker, the glue that holds the family together. Somewhere along the way, though, your nervous system learned that if I perform correctly, I will be loved. And that belief follows people straight into adulthood for decades. Maybe it shows up as people pleasing. Maybe it shows up as codependency. Maybe we label it complex PTSD or attachment trauma. All of those things come to the same root problem. Love was earned, connection was earned, and it was conditional. So the next time you're feeling exhausted from constantly monitoring whether people are happy around you, this may be because you have a subconscious belief that love has to be earned and that love can be easily lost when you stop doing the behaviors that earned you that love and connection. That is why relationships feel like walking on eggshells. That is why every disagreement can feel really dangerous and actually threatening. Your heart is pounding out of your chest. Everyone changes when moods change, and you feel responsible to smooth it over. You become emotionally dependent on doing these things to keep your value and to keep earning love. Here is another experience of love. One that may intellectually be understandable, but it is hard to embody. Love that is received. Now, receiving love doesn't mean that you never disappoint people and people never disappoint you. It doesn't mean that relationships become perfect and they're magical and they're easy. It doesn't mean that there are no conflicts, no tricky boundaries to navigate, relational dynamics and ruptures, or difficult conversations to be had. Healthy love still has seasons. It still has ebbs and flows, and there are moments of closeness and moments of distance, moments of ease and moments of struggle, but the relationship itself is not constantly hanging in the balance. The connection isn't contingent upon your performance. You don't have to audition for belonging every day. You don't have to earn your place in the relationship through emotional labor, and you don't have to continuously prove your worthiness. This is where many people discover something a little bit uncomfortable. They don't actually struggle with giving love. They struggle with genuinely being open to receive love. Because receiving love requires tolerating vulnerability. Receiving love requires allowing yourself to matter without performing, without the conditions. Here's the question I want you to ask. When someone loves you, do you receive that? Or do you immediately start calculating what you need to do to keep it and what your next move is to get that next dose of love that you can have? Because the answer to that question is going to reveal whether you're building relationships from emotional integrity or from the lifelong survival habit and unconscious limiting belief that love must be earned. Want to dig into this work? I'm Chrissy, the emotional intelligence nurse, and the description below is going to have 2 of my tools to help you learn the difference between earning love and receiving love. And it starts with emotional safety and looking at your patterns and habits, your coping mechanisms of emotionally over-functioning. I'll see you around in the next video, and I would love for a review by subscribing or share this with someone else who may be into this information.